Hey guys, what's up? It's Amanda and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can tell by the title, today I'm going to be sharing with you guys another sketchbook update. This is pretty much for the month of April, well, I think end of March through April. Today, the day I'm filming this, is May 2nd, so April just wrapped up, and I did about 30 more sketches or so I thought it was time to share with you. So the first sketch in here is pretty sassy. This is a sticker design that I created as part of my Betty Bunny sticker set. That was really not so much an official sticker set, it was more of a trial sticker set. So in the stickers that I printed off, you can still see some of the sketch lines and stuff, so that's why I'm not making it available, but some of the other sticker designs in this series include these two right here. I think they're super cute and very fun, flirty. So there's this sketch, and I do want to do more sticker designs in the future, but this was just sort of a simple idea that I had that I was able to execute rather quickly. We have this illustration that popped into my head after having lunch with a couple of my friends, and we were kind of reminiscing like on a lot of our college experiences and like people that we met in college, people particularly that had made poor and interesting choices, and we kind of came up with this phrase, props but pass, meaning like, hey, that's creative, good for you, do your thing, but not for me. And I kind of drew myself, and I really like this. I think especially this expression, totally, I love it. So yeah, props but pass basically means like, you do you, but totally not for me kind of mentality. I drew some Harry Potter characters. Obviously I drew Hermione, Harry, and Ron, in case that wasn't really obvious. Proportions are a little off, but I feel like drawing them sometimes, and I let myself, because Harry Potter fan art is one of those things that you can just never have enough of. So I drew them just like sitting at a desk reading a book, and I do want to do a full color illustration of these characters. I just haven't worked out quite exactly how I want to do it, so this is what you get for now. These are some notes for a collab that I'm working on, and it's basically, it required a little bit of research and comparing and contrasting between two theories, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy this collaboration. I'm not going to spoil too much about it because I do think that it'll be really fun to talk about in the video, but I used this page of the sketchbook to really take some thorough notes, and then I did just some very loose sketches directly with pen on paper on this page, and I really like this one, and I think that this idea is ultimately the one that I'm going to go with. These were just some doodles that I did while on vacation in Dallas a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know, I just kind of felt like doing some pen doodles. I think I saw Monique Renee doing her one marker challenge, I believe that's what it was, and I had this desire to just work with ink and try and get like a lot of really fine lines and details, and so that's sort of what I started to do and then stopped. And then this is just a very simple sketch, and this is actually where I was trying to start using this date stamp thing to date my sketches. I've sucked really bad at it. I'm gonna try and be better about it going forward, but I think this is only like one of 2 or 3 sketches that I actually remembered to date, and that was on March 29th. So then there's this page, which I'm not a particularly big fan of, but what's good about it is that it's me working directly on the paper with brush pen, so there wasn't a lot of erasing. Actually, I think I sketched in the hand, but this face was not sketched in prior to inking it, which leaves a lot of room for error, and it can be kind of risky when you do that, but I like having that freedom from time to time, and I do like the way that the hand turned out. And then this you might recognize as being my current YouTube icon, although it might look a little different because I had to correct the mouth in Photoshop because it was a little bit off, but I really did like the colors despite it being a little bit of a hassle to create because I didn't realize that the pens I was using, particularly the Pentel Pocket Brush pen, is not Copic proof. Or at least the ink that I have refilled the Pentel Pocket Brush pen with is not Copic proof. So yeah. Then here's kind of another watercolor page. This paper handles watercolor fairly well and I'm very pleased with that. But I did a drawing with Pentel Pocket Brush first and then kind of did this watercolor wash over top of it, and I think it looks really cool. I like the contrast of like these very light organic colors with these very kind of strong, stark black lines. I think that it looks really nice. This is another brainstorming page, and I've been really liking doing these, and they kind of really help me gather my thoughts, particularly when it comes to video ideas and things of that nature. So this is for a video project that is going to be in the works for what I can only say is a while. I can't give you an estimated timeline for when it's going to be released, but these were just kind of some of the ideas and some of the thoughts that came to mind when I was thinking about this. And you guys might remember in a vlog a couple weeks ago I asked what inspiration meant to you and what sort of symbols made you, what sort of symbols did you think of when you thought of inspiration, and this kind of ties in with that. So there's that. There's some more notes kind of on the back. Here is my Copic marker colorless blender tutorial page, I guess you could call it that. And this was really just where I demonstrated the different techniques that you can achieve with the Copic marker colorless blender. If you haven't seen that video, I will also try and remember to link it in the cards because I think it might be helpful to some of you, especially those of you working with markers. And you can see it bled through a lot. This is the sketch that I did for my outer self piece, and I also have the one for the inner self over here. I think this video will be up this Friday, so you can check that out on my channel, and if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe so you can be one of the first to see it, because I had a lot of fun kind of creating this concept. Even though it is kind of simple, I do really like it a lot, and I had fun sketching those out. So then here is a series that I really want to pursue further, and that is drawing the DC girls in outfits that are actually sensible for the work that they're doing. And this was definitely inspired by Babs Tarr, who did the new Batgirl DC New 52 redesign, because when she designed that character, and I'll kind of insert a picture of her character design, she makes notes that, you know, her costume is not really meant for sex appeal. Like, her jacket is made of leather, not spandex, so her chest is actually restricted, it's not emphasized. And I love that idea. So I was playing around with these concepts of how some of the other DC ladies might look in more sensible clothing. The first one that came to mind, obviously, Catwoman. So I gave her kind of this cat helmet and all leather getup, but with more combat boots, and it's a lot more structured and a lot less, like, I don't know, I guess hugging to her curves. So I had a lot of fun with this one. And then I did one for Wonder Woman, and the main thing with Wonder Woman that I wanted to make was a shirt that wasn't strapless, because if you're flying, that doesn't make any sense. So I gave her more of like a racer back style top, which is more typical for like athletic wear. And I tried to make her look more muscular, and I do want to do a full Wonder Woman illustration in honor of the new movie coming out. But I will be sticking to the costume that they use in the movie. But I do want to pursue this as kind of a side project. And then I did Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn, and basically I'm kind of modeling their style after like athleisure. So they're not wearing like these little leotards, they're wearing like comfortable clothing or sensible clothing for whatever it is that they're doing. So Harley, being more of the acrobatic type, is in a pair of leggings and then kind of like a crop top, but something that's not super revealing, so she can definitely move comfortably without worrying about like flashing anybody, which would seem to make sense if you were fighting crime or fighting against the people fighting crime, that you wouldn't want to risk, like, I don't know, indecent exposure, which might be distracting. And then for Poison Ivy, because she is kind of girlier in the sense, or she's still got kind of that sexual air to her as part of her personality, I didn't want to completely eliminate that. So her top's a little more low cut, and then she has kind of this belted skirt that kind of drapes off the back, which I'm still toying around with, and we're gonna see if I choose to pursue that or not. But yeah, I really like the way Harley came out. I think she's my favorite. And then there's Zatanna, but at this point, my inspiration for doing this was kind of dying out. I do want to revisit it and kind of touch them up and make them look more finished, but that was the extent of where I got with it. Here was just some like warm-ups with drawing the head, and then that turned into me wanting to do the hair tutorial. So if you watched my hair tutorial video, again, I'll link it so in case you haven't seen it, but this is kind of where I sketched this all out and then did the talk through portion of the video, and then did the real-time drawings here on this side. So you can see I did a lot of tutorials this time around on this sketchbook, and they were very short, very simple tutorials. And one thing that I want to mention is that I am in the process of working on more in-depth tutorials for various things, and I feel like I've been talking about them for quite a while now, and I haven't made much headway into actually getting them out to you guys. And I just kind of want to like briefly apologize, but just let you guys know that I really want to step up the quality of my tutorials, and that just means that they're going to take more time. So little ones like these you're still going to get, just because they're simple and they're easy, and I don't need to go into too much detail. But some other things I really want to take the time to make sure that the editing makes the tutorial better. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's the hair tutorial. Oops, I have a runaway paintbrush there. This was just some facial expression studies, and I saw Jenna Drawing do a video of facial expressions, so that's what kind of inspired this. And I was also trying to make the character look consistent throughout each expression, because I have a hard time with making my characters look consistent. So I wanted to try that out, and I think I did pretty well. These two I think look the most similar. This one, something about the chin doesn't quite work. And then this one, it looks almost like it's a slightly different style, but that's me being nitpicky. I still am pretty happy with the way that it turned out, and I think that I will continue to do more practices like this one. This was just kind of a random character design that popped into my head, and I really wanted to get it down on paper. Something about this hairstyle just like really appeals to me, and this actually ended up being the inspiration behind my first digital piece, which if I can remember I'll insert it here, because I didn't make it a video, I just posted it on Twitter and on Instagram, and this was actually the character that I drew. She doesn't have a name yet, and she's just sort of this badass, punk rock, edgy female character that I think is really cool. And yeah, I don't know, I might revisit her more in the future, I might not, but she was fun to play around with at the time. Here, okay, so you guys know for Cinco de Mayo / May the 4th, which was Star Wars Day, I was like at this crossroads where I didn't know if I wanted to do a Star Wars themed piece or a Cinco de Mayo themed piece, and then you guys said both. So I went a totally different direction, but initially I was thinking about doing a Star Wars piece, and at first I thought about doing Han Solo and Chewie because they're a great pair, but I didn't like the way Han Solo was turning out, so I kind of gave up. And then I recalled this idea that I've had several times in the past of a gender-bent Leia and Han Solo, which I always beg Keith to do with me for Halloween, but he says the only way he'll gender bend slave Leia is if I'm Jabba the Hutt, which is fair, I guess. But I think it's kind of more iconic to have like her as Han Solo and then slave Leia as like I think to many people, the most memorable Leia for whatever reason. So I really like this idea. I'll have to kind of move Leia upwards if I make this the final piece, just so that it looks like they're standing like side by side. But I do really like this, and you guys should comment down below if you want me to turn this into a finished piece, because it won't take much convincing for me to want to do it. So yeah, comment down below if you want to see that. And then here is the piece that I actually ended up doing for Cinco de Mayo / Star Wars Day, and this is a video up on my channel. I feel like I'm linking you guys to a lot of videos and I don't want you to get overwhelmed, but you can check that out on my channel if you would like. I really did like the way that it turned out in the end. Then there was this idea that just popped into my head, and let me tell you, it's a real gem. So you guys know I have the series My Mother Thinks I'm Morbid, and if you watch the outer self and then the inner self video, which is coming out this Friday, you'll kind of understand a little bit more about the concept. Basically, I kind of just oversimplified that concept and made it a joke out of it, which I think is always good to do. I'm all about, you know, sincerity and focusing on serious topics when they need to be serious, but then I'm also totally about making jokes all the time for no reason. So that is what I did here, and I'm tempted to make this a sticker design. I'm not even kidding. I think it would be really cute, but it's just like a little tiny version of me with a little tank top that says death, and then those little like Thug Life sunglasses, and it says, "Your mom thinks I'm morbid," but you guys can read, so you already knew that. Moving on. Here is the preliminary sketch for the Wonder Woman illustration that I want to do, and I actually took this a step further and inked it, which I usually don't do with just my plain sketches. As you guys can see in a lot of the previous ones, they've just been pencil. But I took the extra step to ink this one, and I really like the way that it looks. And I think I shared this on my Instagram story as well. So a few of you may have seen this way early, which is a good place to get sneak peeks in case you don't already follow me there. But I'm really excited to transfer this and color it. I think I want to do it on like a 9x12, so I'm going to have to scan it and scale it up a bit, but that's okay. I'm really excited about it. Then this was the first attempt to sketch out a little self-portrait, I guess, for an upcoming collaboration that I won't say too much about, just because I want to save that for when it comes out. So yeah, it'll be kind of a surprise. But then this was the final version that I ended up going with. And I like it a lot. I think it's really cute, and I'm happy with the way that it turned out. And I actually colored this digitally. So guys, you just prepare, because it might blow your mind a little bit. It probably won't. But I had a lot of fun coloring this digitally, and I think my technique is improving, if I do say so myself. Oh yeah, and then I think this is the last sketch in here, and this is for the first day of Mermaid, which is where you draw a mermaid every day in May. There's also May We Draw Daily, which is also really great. Unfortunately, I'm not participating in either outside of like this little participation that I did, because Mermaid last year blew my mind. I got so suckered in, and then by the time I really wanted to start participating, it was over and I was sad. And today, because it was the 1st of May, well, yesterday when I'm filming this, not when you guys are watching it, I wanted to share my little contribution, and I really like the way that this turned out. I added a little bit of ink wash, so it looks kind of like dark, and I feel like she looks very mysterious. It is my goal for the month of May to get at least one full illustration of a mermaid out, because I feel like I owe you guys that. I know I don't, but I feel like that, so I'm gonna try and get at least one mermaid illustration out, and I'm really excited about that. So that is it for the sketchbook update. We have this much more to go, which is probably only one more sketchbook update left in this sketchbook, but fear not, for I have other sketchbooks to fill after this. But we've made quite a dent in it so far, and I've really enjoyed working in this sketchbook more than I've enjoyed any other sketchbook. I think in my life. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I know it's been a little bit of a long video, so I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you aren't already, and you can check out my other social medias in the description bar down below. But that is it for today, and I will see you guys Friday with a brand new video. Bye guys.